Alrighty, guys, what is up? It's Janae here.
And Ola, hi.
We are doing kind of a bit of a podcast style slash teaching sesh. We recently came off of our live cohort with 12 other really cool designers who learned Wix Studio with us. And we actually realized like this is a really fun vibe. Like we love chatting with each other, chatting to you guys. How are you using Wix and Wix Studio to like build your agencies and your studios and your freelancing businesses? And we want to make more of a vibe of it and do this a bit more often. So I somehow convinced dear Olya here to jump on a call with me. And we're going to run you guys basically through a build that she recently did that had like a really cool kind of animation to it. And then we thought we'd chat about like projects that we're currently working on and then potentially like some new releases that Wix Studio just released and like how we're using it. Okay, so I thought we could jump off and maybe run through some like new releases from Wix Studio. So let me get my screen up here and see if you've used any of them. This is some new releases. Obviously, like these are all great and whatnot, and I'm really glad for the people who can now use PayPal. But I want to jump into some checkout Wix Studio Editor's latest enhancements. I have no idea what horizontal stack RTL direction is. I was like, sorry, what now?
Yeah, but it's something to do with right to left direction. We can try if we have it.
We can try it. I think the only thing that I thought, okay, so like bear with me, but I saw a Wix Studio ad and they are everywhere, right? Like let's just be honest. And I swear I saw this person basically create a horizontal scroll, but with like cells going sideways. And I 100% thought when I read like horizontal stack right to left direction thing, like create a component that like goes from right to left or whatever, I was like, oh, maybe that's that. Because why have we been struggling so much? Like it's a big build to like do like a really good horizontal scroll. And I swear I saw this on a Wix Studio ad. And I was like, oh, maybe that's it. This is apparently not it. It's just you like stacking something and then changing the direction. Is
No
that what
idea.
that's it? I have no idea either. So we're gonna see if we can find that while we're building, just to see if we know what that even is. New image and background scroll effects. So this one I have actually used. So a background scroll effect that are now part of like mission systems, blah, blah, blah. And so they added two new ones, parallax fill and reveal fill.
Yeah, I used it. So before it was just on the section background. We couldn't apply this on the images, and now we can.
It just automatically does. I mean, technically we could beforehand. It was just quite a manual process, right? You had to like blow up the image in the background and on scroll like move. Could you do that? Not really.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, it's there is parallax for the background. It worked differently to the
I
parallax
remember.
scroll, and now with the parallax
It actually does it
reveal,
inside of the container.
you don't need to have image as a background. It can be just an image, or actually
Got it.
maybe any element.
I'm excited because the fact that this is like such a quick apply. Okay, so I'm working on a project actually in Webflow at the moment, and literally to achieve this parallax fill kind of scroll thing, like in the background mission, like honestly, to me anyway, it's a bit of a mission. So you literally have to like go into the image. So you have to put the image into a container. So we've got a container, which is a div block. Then you're adding an image into that. Then you have to blow up the image in the background, right? So you have to like resize it by like it's 1 to 1.3. Then you have to go into your animations. Then you have to create while scrolling in view animations. Then you literally have to like blow it up in there as well and go, I want it to like start at 1 and then grow to 1.3, right? And then it has to no, is that how it does? Is that yeah. And then the next one is like move. So you have to like move it from like -9% to like +9%. Like it's a whole thing, okay? It is a mission. And so the fact that you can just do that with a click is ridiculous. Like I just wanted to put that out there because it's such a mission
Yeah,
to do it
that's
in other
so cool
builders.
that you know how to do it in web. I mean, that you tell me that it's so difficult in Webflow. So I feel like I'm
it
using the
helps.
right the right.
Using the right tool. That's the thing. I think Webflow is great with details. Like you have full control over every little detail, where Wix kind of like does it for you, but you have less control over the details. But it's like much
Mhm.
faster. So I always tell people like all of the tools are great. Like let's just be honest. Like they're all built to like great standard. I think we can chuck out WordPress in that situation. Like let's just be honest. However, most of the newer tools are really good, and like people who actually like make an effort to update those. I think it really is just about how quickly you need to get something built and the client that you're working for. So at the end of the day, like a tool is a tool. It's how you use it and who you're building it for. That I think that really matters. But I do think Wix Studio like wins with like ease of use, speed of building, and just getting stuff out there. I think you just need to know how to use it, which is the mission that we're on, is to help people actually know how to use Wix Studio. All right. And then we have set header to the bottom of the screen. So we now can pin, technically, a header to the bottom of the screen. However, like usually a header would be at the top, and if you pin it, it's not a header anymore. Now you officially can have a nav bar at the bottom of your screen. That's interesting.
But what is like we always could pin something to the bottom, like it could be a section. So I'm not sure what is so different here.
So I think what's different here is now you have a global section, right? So a global section is obviously now your header or your footer or whatever. Now you have a global section, which is now technically pinned to the bottom of your screen. That's true. But the fact like you couldn't override the fact that a header is at the top and a footer is at the bottom. Like that, it's kind of set like that for the most part. And I think your footer you can technically move, but your header is usually like that's the top of your page, and that was very difficult to
And it's
override.
only to the bottom, so we cannot make it like side, pin to
Yeah.
side and make it
I mean, you
like,
can pin stuff, but it's not going to make it a global section header, global
yeah,
section.
okay.
Where this is like you now have that official option to be able to do that, which in code you should have been able to do that anyway. But I guess now you can make much cooler like layouts with it. So I'm curious to see like what kind of templates Wix Studio brings out, because I can just see like their template builder is just going nuts and just like building like really cool things. I wouldn't be surprised if I go in there now and there's something really cool in there. Okay, and then have you actually ever built a website with a lower nav? Because I haven't.
With what?
With like a nav at the bottom.
I did, yeah, I
Really?
did.
I've never
And
done
it
that.
was, yeah, but I used just the container pinned
You pinned
to the
it.
bottom of. And as I remember, it was kind of additional navigation, not the main
Not the
navigation.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very specific client. Like you need a really specific client who goes, I want to go all in on my nav at the bottom. And usually I don't think it's like a very complicated like product. It's more of a, like a landing page
Mhm.
situation. Um yeah, that's an interesting one because you can't have that many items. Like it's just I don't know. The whole thing just I feel like it's a specific client. So if you guys have any cool websites that has like a lower nav, please link it because I really want to see it. Okay, so then we have copy layout tool breakpoints. I thought you could already do this by like overriding them. So I'm
Yeah,
confused by
it's
this.
I can explain this because we just talked about it with my manager. So it's you can with this cascading rule, you break it every time when you do changes like in something, right? And so with this you can apply it to all breakpoints layout,
Okay.
something like that. So yeah, we had it. You can do it just now. You can do it with less clicks.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, we kind of already have that where you like jump into your different breakpoints and you just override it and then it matches your desktop. So is it like the same as that with just less clicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so that's it for some new fun things that I thought was interesting. The only other thing that I thought would be interesting to bring up is design kits. Okay, so we had a chat with Wix as well, actually. But design kits. Okay, so design kits are like these fun things here. So, what do you think about design kits? What's your take?
Yeah, it's not for me. I can understand when they can be useful when you don't know And when you don't care, like you just choose whatever you like. Because usually when I build a website, I already have the style, and
You have a framework,
it's
yeah.
taken not from the kids, it's taken from like brand strategy and stuff. So yeah, I hardly gonna use it, but for inspiration, and like
It's really good. Yeah.
yes, and like or even like to take anyway, whenever I use any kind of preset frame, I always end up
Breaking it apart and starting over anyway.
yes. So yeah.
Fair enough. I've jumped into kits for two reasons. Okay. Number one, if I see a footer that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be saving me so much time, like let me just start with this footer and I can like rework it from there. 10 out of 10. Okay. I hate building a footer. So some of the footers, I'm like, this is a nice footer. I can just use this footer.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
sometimes I'm just like, I hate a footer.
because I have my footers saved as my assets.
Oh,
I mean,
see, you're smart that way. I need to start
they're
doing that.
saved as section because you can't save an asset global section as far as I
Yeah.
remember. Anyway, yeah, I have like 2, 3.
Do you have a
Usually
few?
I go for the same
Listen,
layout.
I have a growing hate for footers. So I would use it for footers. The other thing I used it for, I think, was a nav at one point, just because it was already styled. And I was like, that's nice. I'll just use that. But I think the main thing I've used this for is buttons. Because again, I really hate working with Wix Studio's buttons in
Yeah,
the best way
love
possible.
buttons.
Oh
I
my god, I
just
hate buttons so
created buttons.
much. So when I'm like, this is a nice button, or like, this is a okay button, I mean, okay, that's not that fancy, but like some of them I'm like, this is actually like, this is what I would have done anyway, so I might as well just grab it. So I have to give it to them for the button vibes. I quite enjoy the button vibes. So yeah, I'll do it for the button. The button and
Yeah,
the
I
footer, I
think
think.
some pieces like they're usable just due to
100%. Like none of like the nice sections that they did so much effort with. I was just like, just give me better buttons. Because let's just quickly be honest, yeah? Like let's just take a moment. This has not been updated since like
but like
1995.
I take it like just as a I actually prefer absolutely empty button, which
Exactly. Rather give me that because who's who? Who is using this? Sir, lady, ma'am,
but
sir.
you're taking and playing with it. What then you do?
I know, but like how many people don't though? This is what I'm thinking. So if you have a client, okay, I'm not dunking on any designers, they would never. But if you have a client who goes, I want a button, because I know you guys know these clients, and they go, oh, quickly, like, here, let me just add a button. And they go for what can only be like the 1990 button of like the century. Like, I'm pretty sure PayPal had this on their website in like 1995 when they started. Do you know what I mean? So this is
Yeah,
where I'm coming
that's
from.
why I don't give access to full mode to my clients.
No
Or
such
if I
thing.
give, I with very, very big warning.
There we go. Warning, if you mess this up, I'm not touching it. So yeah, some of the buttons I'm like, but luckily, obviously they brought in some animated buttons, which I do enjoy and love. But yeah, I think let's like bring all that energy into our styled button section. Like we need more styled buttons. Like I'd be all in for some more styled buttons that can just save me loads of time. That's my controversial opinion, which I feel like they're heading towards, hence why this got a big update.
We actually had these buttons in in regular Wix many years ago.
That's what I'm
Animated
saying.
buttons.
I'm pretty sure it's the same stuff. Like, come on, guys. Buttons are effort. So I'm so keen when I saw this. When I saw it, I'm like, yes, give me buttons. Give me all the buttons. Because I'm like, this is actually all right. I could use this. I could do something with this. Like, I think I used this menu here, or one of the menus, because I was like, yes, menu. That's decent. I'll take it. All right. Cool. All right. I'm going to stop. Let's jump into a quick little Olya side. So while she gets that up, I'll stop sharing. So while she gets that up, she went on a podcast somewhere, either this year or last year. Was it last year or this year?
Yeah, I don't remember it, but the website is not that old, so somewhere this
Somewhere.
year. Yeah.
And she has like this really cool section that she built out, and like people basically asked her like, "Oh, how did you do this?" And so we thought this could be a really fun like first episode like tutorial on how to do something like this, because it is fairly like
I'll
animation
show the
heavy.
actual side so we know what we're
Yeah, go
talking
for
about.
it.
Okay, let me show you the live side so you will see what we're gonna build, but we're not going to build the whole thing. So this is the website. This is a coffee brand here in Australia, and this one is the section where you see the packaging changing on the scroll with
Very cool.
like information about the product. So there's only 3 products. I can show the whole website too.
Might as well over here.
Into here. So yes, this one very little section, but it will take some time to go through the build. I prepared this, so we don't have here. I removed this one, so we don't have it. We kind of have just the very first section I copied, and here the new section. And
Okay.
let's see what we have here. We have 3 pictures of the coffee package, and we have 3 sections with the name, description, and button. And this right section with the text is a repeater, and 3 images. It's just images which like they sit on each other, and with certain animation it kind of reveals.
So you basically made sure like you are creating these assets to like be exactly the same
Yeah,
in size.
this is the very critical point that
Very cool.
the images must be identical. That's why I just took, it's not like pictures, of course, it's just a mock-up. I took one mock-up and changed
Just changed over
the
like the
image.
graphics of it.
Yeah. Also,
How
as
did
you
you come up with this idea, by the way? Did you see it
uh,
somewhere and you're like, I'm gonna try and rebuild it? Or
it's actually was about this. I wanted to tell the story that this coffee, like the difference between the first, second, and the third coffee is the strength. So they go from the
oh,
strongest to, and as you can see, the background as we scroll, it's getting lighter as well. So,
mm-hmm.
and if you read text, you will see it's a smooth light and blah blah blah.
So it kind of gives you like that subconscious message as
Yeah.
well. Like it's
Yes.
literally going from stronger to lighter. Interesting.
Overall, I
I love
love
how all
this
of that plays in.
sticky thing. I always use it on my site. That's why I'm just exploring it always.
You are a
Let's
big fan of sticky.
start building. So we first we need just a huge section. We actually need to go to the advanced sizing. Where is that? It's here. Size preferences. Always show advanced because we are big girls. We are working with advanced.
We're the big girls, okay? Can I get an amen for the big girls in
I
the
also
comments?
removed the max width. So for now, what I know for sure that this first row it has to be 100, so it has to be the screen size, and I will apply CSS grid, and I will add another row. Maybe we will change it as we go, but for now we need just 2 rows. The first row is 100 VH.
This is actually something we spoke about in our cohorts so much, is like the difference between cells, grids, how like you can manipulate both, and how grids will like always be the winner over cells. And like so many people were like, oh, I always felt like I was stuck in cells, and now that I'm like really unlocking what grids can do, it's a
Yeah, we
no-brainer.
never work with cells. So I also created 2, what's this, columns? Now we kind of ready to place the elements. We can create the same effect when the background is changing the color. So it's just simply the gradient. Very simple solution. We go from the other way around. For that one, we probably need just something like that. And maybe for that one, a darker version.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it.
Okay, so now when we have two columns and two rows, so this 100 VH, we have this section for our pictures. I mean, images of the package. So we add image. I already have images in the media, so you will see here. They are identical, just super identical. And we need all of them, actually. So I probably will go like that. No. Okay, anyway. I'll have the green one. Let's prepare these settings for one. We need it to be reset. And as you can see, I have margins around, so they make sure that it's not cut off on like different screens, so you always have margins. Then we can choose this fit to bound and box. And yeah, I think that's it. Then we duplicate, we change image to the red one. We know that all the settings are already applied, and the yellow one. Okay. Now we expand all of them to fill up this space. Actually, this section can be smaller, just approximately. And what else we need to consider here? We need to have this one first. So you see how they sit on each other and hiding. So we need the green first, then we have the red, and the last we have yellow. And we need to create a repeater now with all the information. What if I just duplicate? Can I? Duplicate a repeater from the website so we just don't spend time?
You can. We just want to run through how you built it.
Then let's build it.
Let's go the long way. You don't have to put as much info as the other one.
Okay, so we have the repeater here. Let me see what information we have. Like subheading, 1, 2, 3, and 2 buttons. And the line. Remove the background, make more space. And we have just the styles are not set on this website. That's why we will not have any style.
Yeah, that was another important thing. In our cohort, our entire first week was all about how to set up your project correctly, because if you set up a project correctly, everything else is going to be so much easier, especially your responsiveness. It's just insane how much time you're going to save yourself. So literally our entire first week is how to set up a project correctly, how to set up your themes, how to set up your typography, so it doesn't go to 4 pixels on a mobile. I know everyone has seen the 4-pixel drama, and it's just made such a big difference on how people actually build, because you build 10 times faster if the foundations are there and they're set. So that was a really big thing. So obviously now we don't have that worked out here, so responsiveness is going to be a massive mission. You'll see, it's just going to be a nightmare. So that was always something we tell people, make sure your typography and your colors and all of that is set up before you even start building. It makes a huge difference.
Yes, thank you for that. So I will explain what I'm doing here with the items. So we have subheading, heading, text. Let's stack them. And let's do the paddings for items. Let's say 25, 25. I just know it works for me always. And the size of the stack will be 100%, so it will hug. And we will do docking to the top and to the left. So now, and we will change color to white probably. Okay, then we need to do what? Bit space here, and the size, the height of the item is also important to set to order and check that we don't. Yeah, you see there's a minus thing. It was always the story in our cohort as well. Okay, can we skip buttons? Do you want me to add buttons?
No, it's fine. I think everyone got the vibe.
Just can't wait to.
What I want to touch on though, before you continue, is the fact that we set padding and stuff. Because a lot of people just chuck in like a container, throw in their information, and then kind of continue. Where it's like part of our framework that we taught people is like, make sure like one of your first steps. So first up, it's our styling. And the second thing is once you start a section, it needs padding. Like every kind of bit of work that you're going to put, we want to create space around it. Why? Again, for responsiveness. It might look all right in, let's say, your desktop version because you like centered it really nicely and there's loads of space around it or whatever. But the reality is like once you hit like a tablet or mobile mode, it's just going to be all squished in. Nothing's going to have space around it. It's not going to look good at all. So we always say spacing, padding, make sure all of that is set. And then the next one is sizing. So make sure there's no random pixels at the top, random docking at the bottom. Yeah. Like these are all things like there is actually a checklist that really helps you to just build so much quicker.
Yeah, but and the point I think is that you need to know where, if you see, because still even if when we do all correctly and we follow the recipe, but something may go off, and important is that you know where to look for the issue. Yeah, so I think that's what our guys liked about the cohort mostly. Anyway, so okay, let me just copy paste some text here. That's
there's a coffee name, Salamanca.
So Salamanca is a place in Hobart, in Tasmania, like central area. Very good place. Salamanca and classic blame. You can see the difference in the typography. It makes so much difference when you use proper typography. And the last one here. Right. Okay, we kind of ready.
So the coffee images are in our first column in the first row, and then our repeater is across two of the rows in the second column.
So as you can see here, I gave lots of space, so I just want one message per screen. So we have one image, one description, another image, another. So and to do that, we need to set up a huge gap, almost like 100 VH or something like that, gap between items. How we're gonna create this visual effect. So let's say 80 VH between the items. Hope. Now you see.
So VH means viewport height, and what a viewport is basically what you see on a screen. So it's like 100% of your screen. So let's go 100 viewport width, 100 viewport height. And so we're saying, hey, we want this content to take up 80 viewport height. So 80% of your screen that you can see.
I just think I uploaded wrong images because of I see the shadow. Weird shadow. Anyway, yeah. Okay, now let's see what we have right now without like all the settings. Now we have nothing is stick, so it's just all goes on the section. So we need to figure out what to do here. We need to stick all the images to the top where we are. Sticky top 0%. Right, image sticky top 0%, and the same for that guy. Okay, now they're all stick. So now and you see that they changed their allocation in the layers. We can also always fix that. Once when you click stick, it always goes on the top. So
why, if it's sticky 0% to the top, is there still a little bit of spacing? Is that more just the image?
it's because I told that we have the margins inside of the image. So image has this, and I
I
said
highly
images
recommend.
fit the bound, so it's not cut off. So I want to keep the margins around the space around each image. I don't want it cut off. That's why I like the purpose of the margins was that.
Intentional.
Yes. Okay, we're here. I am annoyed with this shadow, but
Let it go. Perfectionism.
okay. So now we don't need to do anything. I mean, we don't need to do sticky position for repeater because we want it flow, but we now need to change the image of the product. In order to do that, we will actually, there are plenty ways to do that, to be honest, but that's what I did in this case. I'll show again. So how it works here, it kind of goes up. You see it? We need to say that we want this image to disappear like to the top, kind of. It's anti-reveal, let's say. And we do have reveal in scroll. And if we add, we need to say out. So it's animation not in, but out.
That's, like removing.
Yes, so it's
So it is already there and we're removing it as we're scrolling, basically.
yes. So because if it's in, it's not there and it's appearing.
It will be appear.
Out, it's there.
I feel like we should try that. I want to see what it does.
You mean in?
Like what would happen? Yeah, I want to see what happens if you go in.
Reveal.
Let's see.
And
I'm curious.
Adjust animation from, let's say from bottom. You see it. We don't see the green image. It's
It's
on the
coming
floor,
in.
it's coming up. But we need
it to disappear.
Yeah. So if let's say we can do it the other way around, indeed. Like it doesn't matter, just how I did it. So
it's just not exactly what we want at all. Would not recommend. Start with nothing and like they all appear. But for some stuff it could be cool. So I'm just thinking like where can that animation actually work is maybe if you have like an item that's, let's say, like a flower pot, and then as you're scrolling like it reveals new flowers in it. Like that could be sick. Like little animations like that.
I use reveal for text a lot because it can be revealed from left to right or from like all directions, 4 directions. So it's quite handy for text. Okay, we set up animation type out, reveal to the top. The good thing that you can, like in the preview, you should actually see it, but you already see that it does. In the preview, it doesn't show that it's sticky. That's why it's not so handy, but you can see that it works in the right direction. And the trick here is to set the time when it happens on, like at what time on the scroll it happens. That's where we need to really play. So because I did it, so I think it has to be like something maybe like that. We need it quite fast. Let's try, kind of almost there.
So you literally have to like play around with it so much.
Yes, it is the plan. So now it's a bit, what is this? Too late? No, too early, right? Because the description is coming later. So then if it's too early, we just say we move it somewhere here and we try again. Now it's there. So yeah, you can play even like more precisely. But here it is. So and now we have just the last one. So we need to do the same with the red package. Scroll at itself out and review and adjust and Let's try again. Like, for example, no, I think it has to be a little bit later. But like, this one is always plain. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
You're literally like from 55% to 56%, please reveal.
And you see, this is, we didn't change. We had another direction, which is like kind of cool too, you know?
Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, so you can see the difference how this review works if you don't change this one. We need it to the top. So it
That
happens
one where it sounds a bit early.
too early. Yeah, so let's do a bit later. And by the way, you can do these things manually like that if you click. I mean, you can type. Okay. Better.
Boom. Much better.
Yeah. So now we need to set up we need to add space
To the
here.
bottom. Would you suggest setting up padding for the entire section or no? Or like adding that into a container and adding spacing to that?
I didn't
Or is it
do
not really
that
necessary?
here because like right here it's not really necessary. Or maybe I didn't, I just didn't do it right now. So yeah, as you can see, it all works. Like the color, the contrast of the color is not correct, but we are not here for that reason. So that's kind of it. Actually, we have also this line. It's supposed to be behind the package, but anyway, this line is coming up.
Goes all the way.
Yeah, so how I did this, it's just simple animation. We need to extend the line. We need to make the line like 200%. Oops, one moment. I need to think about it.
How did I do this again?
What if we'll do this, yeah, like that, just like that. We need to make sure that it's behind the package, yes. And now for this line, I will set up again scroll animation, scroll, add, and it will be again reveal. And in this case, it will be in, not out. And it will be from, what's that? Tell me, left. From left, and maybe something like that. Let's see how it works. Maybe even later. So I like this animation here that if you take it from here, so you can actually hide. It means you're hiding the element, and it will appear
Until you're like
until you
15%
reach
into
this. Yes. So I would go like this and maybe like this. Let's see. Yeah, it's too fast, but you see how it works. Yeah, it's too fast. But anyway, you can play with that.
So basically, with the line, with the reveal, all of that you literally have to play with. And so the idea is that the line will kind of line up. Very
Yeah, because,
cool.
and also that's why I love repeaters. I go for repeater every time because you just set up it once and you see it works on all.
You don't have to keep struggling. Yeah, fair. That's true. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a good idea. Well done.
Thank you.
I really, really like it. I'm sure the client was over the moon.
I can tell you the story. It's crazy. What do I do to stop this? Because, when I showed this, yeah, they were super happy. And after a while, his wife, she said to me, he said that because you use template, like something so weird. He saw this somewhere and he said that why you use template and we paid so much money. And that was so offensive, because you're just calculating this animation with literally doing all this math.
All this little math just to try and get this animation perfect.
I was just, and he meant, you know what? He meant the background video with the coffee, the very first video. Yeah, obviously, like a stock. Considering they provided me 2 images and 0 text. Saying
for the whole brand.
Yes, for everything. I was so angry.
How dare you did not get a production company to make yours a coffee video? How dare you?
Yeah. So it was
Oh my
funny.
days. So that was the whole thing. So they were literally like, oh, we've seen this video before.
Yeah, you use template. But I
No.
sometimes they say things just because they don't understand how it works.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Like business owners do get weird. I mean, especially if they come with nothing and then they're just expecting you to like have this massive like production company behind you with like 5,000 layers of stock imagery that would be exactly to their brand. And it's like, no, our job is to curate that and we'll find you things, especially if you're coming with nothing. Like, we're going to try our best to absolutely curate this so it looks high quality. I mean, I'm going to tell you, never use like those bright, smiley stock imagery on your website. It's not going to look good. So, our job is to find stuff that like matches your brand, it matches your feel, matches the warmth of your brand, and all of that. But that's about as far as we can go unless you go and could do a custom photo shoot and invest in some imagery or at this point some AI or, all of that. But you can't be surprised if you've seen things on other websites by that time. It just is.
Yeah, to be fair, I
True.
really took the video from Wix collection. It's cool video.
Hey, it matched. So there we go. Alrighty. Well, that was lovely. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
for
I hope
joining.
it was helpful.
Let's do this again. Yeah, I feel like tell us what else you guys want to see because we again like want to do this more often because it's fun because her and I literally do this anyway.
We have
Like we catch
more
up every
time.
week. Yeah, we catch up every week anyway because we're like busy working on our next cohort and so we were like we should just film it because we just talk so much crap about like
Because we wanted to
our
give it
business.
to the first cohort and we ran out of everything. So, and
Yeah,
all
we
the
ran out of time. We
ideas,
were
it's
not
just
prepared.
sad to burn them.
That's true. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.